Where do devil fruits come from? The One Piece theory. I am Live the Truth, and I am here to give my idea or theory on the origin of the devil fruits in One Piece. Now, I don't know if this theory has been presented upon, talked about by other people. I just came to this idea or revelation, I guess you could say, after reading the most recent One Piece chapter 10. 44 due to some dialogue that was given in the chapter that I'm going to go over later, but there is a likelihood this theory was brought up by someone else, and I just can't give those necessary credits at the moment. But I just want to dive into my ideas of this theory, why I think it is the case. But before I go into that, I just want to quickly go into what is a devil fruit in its most basic term, which a devil fruit is a fruit that a person in a One Piece world will consume and gain a specific type of power or ability, and that ability is contained within that specific fruit. Fruits are given names based off of these powers or abilities or sets, and the names are based off of whatever the person witnesses or can do after consuming said fruit. Now, there are different ranges and different types of fruits, such as fruits that are just based off of pure things that you find in nature, like mainly Logias, and these are Logia fruits, the fire fruit, the ice fruit, the light fruit, things of that nature. Then you have fruits based off of animals, the living creatures, the Zoan fruits, and then you have fruits based off of just anything in general, a mixed bag, and those are the special, the Paramecia type of fruits that can do just about a handful of different things. Some fruits have subsets and subcategories and different models, like in the zone field, which I'm going to touch on a bit later. But essentially, once you consume the fruit, you gain whatever specific ability is contained in said fruit. So now that we've gotten a good grasp on the devil fruit, I am just going to go into where I believe they come from, and that is tied to how they are made. And when regards to how devil fruits are made, we haven't figured out much about that. Apparently, Dr. Vegapunk is going to give us that information in regards to that. But we know that the only real man-made devil fruits that exist are Smiles and the one devil fruit that Momonosuke had eaten, which was the copy of Kaido's fruit. Now, these Smile devil fruits are all only one subclass of devil fruit. Zone devil fruits, the animal type of devil fruits. And the one that was quote unquote the perfect one, or I guess failure, that Dr. Vegapunk made was a mythical type, but was based off of another mythical type that he had to experiment on or take information from, and that was Kaido's fruit specifically. But again, all zone type of fruits. Now, the reason this is unique is because man-made people haven't found out the ability to take a concept like an element and put that into a fruit, or a concept like an operating room, i.e. law, and put that into a fruit. And there's a reason in regards to that, and that's what I want to touch on, the creation of the devil fruits. And what I want to pull into is what we just found out in the latest chapter 1044 of One Piece. Spoiler alerts. If you have not read that chapter, go read that chapter. But it's in regards to the revelation that Luffy's Gomu Gomu no Mi fruit, the Rebel Rubber fruit, is not the Rebel Rubber fruit, but the mythical zone fruit, Nika, the sun god, an actual god. Now, before we go way into that, it is a revelation in and of itself that the category of his fruit has changed. It's no longer Paramecia, but it's now a Zoan, a human zone fruit, a mythical one, the sun god fruit. Now, my thing to go into my theories in regards to the creation of it was this fruit was in connection in Joy Boy from 800 years ago. And we got that based off of Zenusha a few chapters ago, hearing the activation, the awakening of their fruit, and connecting said fruit to Joy Boy. Now, my thing in regards to this is, was Joy Boy the sun god? Was he the one turned into the fruit? Because we know that these fruits are basically things that are turned into them. Was he the one turned into the fruit? Was he the sun god? Or did he eat the fruit and awaken the abilities of the sun god? And that's what Zenusha heard and is not correlating with him. See, I think the devil fruits existed prior to the void century, which in and of itself is not an outlandish thing, but hang with me real quick. I think the devil fruits exist outside the void century, and Joy Boy was not the first person to eat the Gummy Gummy no Mi, or I guess the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika. And that means that other people must have consumed the fruit. That means the fruit must have been created in some sort of time prior to that. Now, Sun God, Nika, that's a whole different entity from Joy Boy, who is a whole different entity from Luffy. I don't think Joy Boy's name is Joy Boy. It might be, but I don't think his name is Joy Boy. I think he had a separate name of it and of itself, and then earned the title of Joy Boy because he awakened the fruit that brings laughs and smiles everywhere he goes. So people just called him Joy Boy because he was always joyous. But I don't think his name was Joy Boy. That was just his title given to him. But I think that he is a separate being than Nika. And I think Nika is a being that truly existed. Just like I think all the devil fruits, all these zone fruits actually existed. I think, and my theory is, that in the One Piece world, all these devil fruits were all actual things that all existed simultaneously, all together in harmony. You can call it heaven or eternity or utopia, however you want to call it. I think everything, all these devil fruits, all existed. That means the mythical phoenix fruit that Marco had, phoenixes actually existed. Man, I don't know if they looked exactly like Marco did. Maybe that was just his characteristics mixed with the phoenix, but phoenix actually existed. A phoenix actually existed at that time. The dragons, Kaido's fruit, actually existed at that time in unison. And Luffy's Sun God, that Nika fruit, that Nika person actually existed. And my theory in regards to their creation is more of a biblical translation, but I think it was a tale of the Adam and Eve, but in more in a reverse tale. So everything existed together in harmony. And I think the fruit of life or the tree of life or whatever you want to call it, or the tree that exists, that fruits it came from, and whatever the One Piece guy was, or whatever the head of power was at the time, told people, don't take from this tree. The fruits grant some sort of power, but you are not to consume this fruit. The fruit. Don't take from this tree. And I think it was a person, maybe two people, Adam and Eve, but I think at least one person who did go to this tree and consume the fruit and take the power and use the power intentionally. And I think that whoever was the supreme being in the One Piece world, as punishment for that, punished everyone. And he said, since you are going to consume this fruit for power, I'm going to make it so that you are a fruit that's going to be consumed from power. So he turned that person or persons, whomever, who consumed the fruit into a fruit in and of himself for the power to be passed down to the next person to be eat it. And he did that same thing with everything, everyone, every concept, everything in infinity. He said everything was going to be turned into a fruit. And if you did not have a duplicate of yourself, if there were not more than one of one thing, then that one thing that existed was gone, just taken out. So if you were just fewer things, because we have all these different ancient type dinosaurs, if you were just a fewer things, then you became something known as ancient. You probably died off in society, became something so rare, and now those are called ancients. And if there was only one of you, and if you were only one of a kind, then if you were just taken out, no one had no recollection of you. All they can tell you is in legends and in myths. And these are how the mythical zones and their titles are created. So I think, and my theory is, there was some sort of reverse Adam and Eve event that happened where everything and that existed all existed together, and when a person or someone or something did something they should have, everything that existed was made into a devil fruit. At least one of everything was made into a devil fruit. So if you did not have multiple copies of yourself, you were taken out of the picture. And I'm assuming with gods, there's only one copy of a god. So that's my thing. That's my theory. All devil fruits all existed in one utopia, and then there was an Adam and Eve effect where the One Piece god or supreme being said one of everything will become a devil fruit. And in regards to that, That's what I'm gonna go off of. My mind is still going racing off this latest chapter, but I hope y'all can understand where I'm coming from in regards to this. I have been Live the Truth, and this has been my One Piece theory on where devil fruits come from.